What does late stage rehab look like for Patrick Mahomes and other professional athletes? Look, we can learn a lot from this one. This has pieces of early rehab, but developed into a later rehab activity. So what's going on here? So first off, we've got a football in hand. Obviously, this is Patrick Mahomes. He may or may not win a Super Bowl today. Chances are pretty good. Step one, we're holding a football. Looks like we got a weight vest on as well. Step one, we are stepping backwards. So this back leg is going to start absorbing force now. What we're doing is then swinging around, and this is the force we're talking about creating. He's swinging around this upper body and also this hip. So now this left leg out here has become a pivot for everything else to swivel around, basically. This is kind of, this is hip centration we could talk about. This is, if you're PRI, this is your left diaphragm going into position, but we're adding forces to it such that we can load it and build athleticism. So clearly he's got the baseline kind of movements. His hip mobility is there. He can open up his hips, he can get into this half kneeling, but now we develop force into this position so that we can maintain it and actually use it for the game today. But yeah, let's kind of break this down even more. So step one, opening up the hips. We are externally rotating both hips. This hip is externally rotating eccentrically. The front leg hip is now externally rotating concentrically. And then you will see thoracic rotation very quickly. And it's kind of his throwing arm as well, right? That thoracic rotation happens over this pivoted hip, right? So he's stabilized on this foot, which is what he's going to do all afternoon to the Bucks, is stabilize on that hip and then whip around that upper body. Now, he's really exaggerating these movements. Obviously, this is not how you throw a football, but if we can play on the end ranges, those middle ranges become very easy. And we know that he is quite capable, but this is done repetitively. This is done habitually. Look, if you throw a stone in the air, it will not acquire the habits of its movement, but humans will. So we plant that front leg and then whip around the hip, whip around the thoracic spine, whip around the arm. And if this left leg is stable in the ground, it will be able to sustain that force, that whipping action that Mr. Mahomes is doing here. This is a great activity. He's going to get a lot of glute work here. He's going to get a lot of thoracic rotation. Again, these are just basic principles that he is building on and putting in force, acceleration. This front foot is absorbing. This back hip and this thoracic spine on this side are creating force. This is absorbing force. He's having to hold on to the football. So he is getting so many different things done here. Again, this is a later stage rehab. Early stage rehab, we might piece this apart, right? We might just work on getting this hip stable while this hip walks around. Or we might work on getting that front hip stable while we get thoracic extension and hip extension. So again, this is just putting together a lot of different pieces of early rehab into late rehab such that he can perform. Good luck to the Chiefs. Good luck to the Bucks tonight. Y'all have a fun and safe Super Bowl Sunday. Like, subscribe, submit your videos if you want them analyzed. Have a great day.